Today we're at the Imperial War Museum here in London. We're going to meet a very good friend of mine, Major Paul Smythe, who has just returned from Helmand Province in Afghanistan. We're going to have a chat with him about his experiences and some of the images he's collected during his tour. We're also going to have a look at a new piece of artwork that's arrived in the central atrium and have a discussion about what he thinks about that too. Just finishing off a drawing at the Imperial War Museum of the remains of a suicide car bomb. I was very moved by it, and as I was drawing, I was meditating about what it is and my own memories of being in Iraq and seeing the twisted remains of violence. And this is a fossil. It's in a museum context. It's a fossil. It's not an animal. It's a fossil of violence. And it really brings home the reality of what's happening in the Middle East at the moment. I feel very strongly that art has a great way of communicating ideas about peace, to remind people that the violent way isn't a good way. I'd like to introduce Major Paul Smythe, who's just returned from Helmand, and have a chat about what his experiences were. Paul, how did you do? Good to see you.
Good to see
you again, yeah. So, what have you got here?
This is effectively my sort of personal diary of my 6 months out there. I'm a little unusual in terms of the role that I have in theatre, out in places like Afghanistan. I'm a PR consultant by trade. I'm in the Territorial Army, but I bring a sort of a level of expertise in dealing with the media that the military doesn't have. I trained as a sculptor many moons ago, and that plus an attraction to gadgetry, cameras, video, means that when I'm out and about in places like Helmand, and trying to communicate the story of what's going on out there, what the British and the rest of sort of ISAF are contributing to in terms of the situation in Afghanistan, I look at the cameras and video that we have available to us as another means of communication.
As an artist, a visual thinker, how did you find the situation there in terms of, producing work?
You're not lost for, inspiration. Looking at, every single one of the 10,000, British soldiers who work out there, airmen and sailors, each and every one has a story. In terms of, being a public relations practitioner, there is no better place in the world to be able to, find stories.
What do you think of Jeremy Deller's piece of work down there?
Very different from the sort of stuff that I was doing at college.
Is it art?
Is it art? I don't necessarily think that's the right question. What does it get people thinking about? That's what's more important. Not necessarily that as a piece of art, because if you compare that to the Renaissance, what people associate pictures and stuff that they can recognise, it's very different. But it's there to get people thinking.
Can you just tell me a little bit more about the Helmand blog?
The Helmand blog I set up in January 2009.
Yeah.
As a place, a vessel, a vehicle to push out photographs, video, stories about Afghanistan. It's evolved enormously. In fact, it's changed from being the Helmand blog to UK Forces Afghanistan. But it incorporates Flickr, photographs, YouTube, Facebook. We're using social, networking sites because they're a brilliant way of getting the message out about what we're doing. Brilliant. If you want to find it online, it's UK Forces Afghanistan.wordpress.com, or just Google Helmand blog.
Cheers, bro. It's been a great day today, and I cannot thank the generosity of Major Paul Smythe in letting me have a few of his images from Afghanistan to produce a piece of work, and to the Imperial War Museum for letting us be here. One of my favourite parts of London is here at the Tibetan Peace Garden, and I just want to leave this little piece on a poignant note, just looking at this monument with some hand-carved text, which was written by the Dalai Lama, and I think this actually sums up where we need to go. We human beings are passing through a crucial period in our development. It ends, may it remain as a symbol to remind us that human survival is dependent on living in harmony, on always choosing the path of non-violence in resolving our differences. Dalai Lama of Tibet, 1999. And I think that's a mantra that we should all base our own future on.